What's up, y'all? What's up? What's up? Give me just a moment here to get some windows fixed. What up, Zomboss? How you doing? All right. So, we're looking for golden prop cats today. I actually got one already. There is a rifted one. And then I've got a golden one here somewhere. Where did I put it? Probably on a rogue. Let's see. No, it's a regular prop cat. I don't know where I would have put it. On the EV or the Huntress, maybe? No. There it is. So, not terrible, but not ridiculously spectacular either. So, hoping to get a better one. Or hoping to get a couple better ones. And this is actually a Waller now, right? Because they moved all the stuff around. Yep, alright. Where is the golden rifted cat? That's a good question. That is a good question, Aramir. Let's see. So we want to go to Alk Labs. I'm going to do this one a little different today, too. I've killed... I've never done Wave 100 with it, but I've killed the Demon Lord, like, in mixed mode with the Summoner, like, a million times. And the Summoner got buffed in the CDT update, so... I mean, that's just going to make it ridiculous, right? So we got to do Wave 96 starts. Let's go to Dunator difficulty. Game crashed the other day and you said screw it. That's fair. That is fair. Alright, so how do we want to do this? Let's go with explosive anti-gas back here. Who is this? That's the PDS guy. I gotta remember the naming. Not quite DST is code for PDS. Alright. How do we want to do it? We want to go 6 of them? 2 on their own buff beam? Oh, you know what? I should throw a siren down first. That way I get the ranges right. Make sure we're inside of the siren bubble. Can we do that? Or is that not enough? Maybe we've got to go 1 in a spider. I don't know how the DU is going to work out here. Let's try going 1 in a spider on the side. So 4 total. Spider there and a spider there. I'm so used to my EV being F3. I've always kept it on F3 in DD2 and in DDA. And for some ungodly reason, I moved it off of F3, and that is just throwing me for a loop. All right. And then, well, we're going to want some walls because the ogres do get a little uppity. And what does that leave? We're going to need 6 for buff beams. That would leave 7 more. So I think we just go, How do we do it? What up, Millsy boy? I hope they don't go that route. I mean, survival and grinding, letting the game run overnight while you ran hundreds of waves of survival is why everybody quit. So I'm really hoping that they don't put a big focus on survival going forward. Why do more for the game mode? That was the reason everybody left, you know? Let's see, I got mixed emotions here. I want an ensnare aura, and I feel like I want... Did I go with too much stuff in the back? I think I went with too much stuff in the back. That would leave me 4 more. Actually, you know what? We can just go with an explosive. I really feel like I need a... I feel like I would like to have a strength drain aura up here for those walls, though. What can we get rid of? Gas trap? Let's get rid of the gas trap in the back. And then I'm just going to use a non-fused. Or, yeah, I'll just use a non-fused strength drain. Lose out on 10% damage, but I don't think I'll need it. And then we got our 3 buff beams. So that should, in theory, that should be okay. All right. Well, we'll have to see. It looks kind of sketchy. It may not work. And then we are going to DPS on a summoner. Have enough? Yeah, 30k left still. I got mixed emotions on if this is gonna work. No, I have not, because that's one of the characters where they moved slots around, which I am not a fan of, and I've got, what, 60-some heroes? Or 50 heroes or something like that, and I don't want to sit there and spend hours going through all that gear. So I have not used the Guardian at all, because I'm boycotting that whole system. I am not going to use any of the characters that had their stuff moved, basically. Or I'm not going to use any of the defenses that had their stuff moved. I just think that was... Even the reason they gave... is not a good reason. In my opinion, anyway. I mean, obviously, they have their own focus, and like I said, don't get me wrong. One thing about what's going on with the CDT is we don't really get to complain, because the choices were we get nothing or we get something, and we got something. So just because the something isn't necessarily something that you personally agree with, it's better than nothing, you know? But I am not going to use those characters, so... Harpoons are one of my favorite defenses in the game. I'm not going to use harpoons because I'm going to be stubborn and not move my stuff around. But yeah, I think that was definitely not a smart design decision. That alienated a lot of people. But anyway, like I said, not going to rant. Our choices are nothing or something, and we got something, so I'll take something. I will take something over nothing. the summoner's going to get so distracted, or these little bombers are going to get so distracted on this side of the map when it comes boss fight time. I was going to make a little video going through it, but, you know, I got nothing against the guys. I appreciate the work that they're putting into it. Just because some of their decisions I don't necessarily agree with, you know, you can't discredit the fact that they're volunteering their time to do this stuff. And it's probably a pretty decent amount of time, too. It's not like they're spending 15 minutes a week on it. You know? You gambled for Lone Walkers and lost 1,700? Oof. Youch. Well, the summoner boots you can use on your ballista guy, can't you? It will corrupt your save file and you'll be hacker flagged, so don't do it. Do not load your cloud save on Xbox. Those things don't exist in the game there, so if you do it, you're just asking for trouble. Alright, well, I mean, that was pretty smooth, really. So far. We'll have to see how it goes here. Yeah, like I said, I got mixed emotions on this setup here. But let's let it fly again. Completely missed that siren. Oh, sentries are not considered summons. I did not know that. You would think, huh? This one is going to be a little bit of a shorty today, y'all. I do apologize for that, but getting a late start, and then the UFC fights are early tonight, and I want to watch at least the last few fights on the main card here. So I'll probably only go a few hours today. Any other pair of boots and you'd have made a grand? Oof. Yeah, I mean, it's running really smooth. It just is going to be a matter of, can I stay alive during the boss? Their reasoning for changing it was because some characters didn't get damaging defenses early enough in game, and the example was the Guardian doesn't unlock owls until level 7, which is a very, very valid complaint if we didn't have a hero deck. But since this is not a game where you play only one character, that argument makes zero sense whatsoever. I mean, on that same logic, does that mean that you should have given a blockade to the Huntress and the Monk because they don't have a blockade early game? You know, I mean, it just makes no sense. And it actually takes away from someone who's brand new to the franchise not understanding that they're supposed to be using 6 heroes. I mean, it's the big benefit of the entire game is having a 6 hero deck. It's the one thing we don't have in any other Dungeon Defenders game. And it's the change is taking away from that. What up, Mushroom Cake? How you been, man? But, like I said, none of us can complain because our choices were something or nothing. Doing good, man. Doing good. How about yourself? You're doing great? Well, that is awesome. Just kind of doing a little chill golden cat farm here today, hopefully. I haven't tried this build yet, so I'm not sure it's going to work out. But we'll find out. I'm going to DPS on the freshly buffed summoner. What the hell? I done fell off my perch. Can't be doing that during the boss fight or it's over. Like over, quick. It was the siren knocked me off. I need to jump out of those siren explosions. Somebody made the suggestion, I think it was Oswarlin maybe, made the suggestion in Discord last night that they add that, like that little siren animation that pops up on the ground when a siren's about to explode. That they do something with that, like that with copter ogres. I thought that was a really good idea. Because the copter ogres, their explosion range is so ridiculous. Yeah, these guys are going to get so distracted during the boss. Well, I think we'll still get them. But it might be a really slow burn. Well, assuming I don't make any errors. Which is always a strong possibility. Especially considering I'm rusty as hell. Get them, little bombers. Get them. What's going on there, Sever? How you doing? Right. So, that stuff's not burning away. I was worried that the explosive traps would burn away here. Well, it seems alright, so... I mean, let's just let it fly here again. And see how it's all going to hold up. This wall's getting beat up at all? No, it doesn't really look like it. It took a little damage, but nothing too bad. No fused buff beams on those are not helping. I'm glad there's a CDT. I got pretty mixed emotions on what they've done so far. I think they alienated more people than they got to come back to play it, which I think was a big, huge mistake. But like I said, we don't get to complain. Our choices were get something or get nothing. And I'll always take get something out of those two choices. Seems all right. Like I said, it's going to be all about the boss. Well, I mean, it's going to take time. They're new to the whole thing. Unreal game development and just any levels of jank that they have. It's not like it's Phil working on it. It's going to take them a good while to get things figured out. That's why they did so many pets, I think. Pets were very, very, you know, obviously they know more about it than I do. But in my guess, I would say pets are probably a real easy target. What I would like them to see them do with pets, instead of just keeping on adding more pets and more pets and more pets, is look at the pets that are in the game. Because that's all brand new content for everybody. I mean, tell me out of previous players who went through and farmed a god tier, deeper well griffin thing. No one, because it was a hunk of shit, you know? There's a ton of pets in the game that need love, so I'm hoping they revisit those pets before they bother adding in anymore. And I really hope they don't keep stacking it all in survival. I just feel like that's just so stupid too. You know, stacking it all into the reason a lot of people quit the game doesn't seem like a good move to me. But once again, I'm grateful they're there working on it, and I'm sure they've got a reason for everything that they want to do. All right, wave 100. Now, let me repair these walls, just in case. See if it'll hold through the boss. I mean, we'll have to see what all they're going to be able to pull off. Like I said, it's a whole lot of aspirations from some very new game developers. Oh, shit. Well, God damn it, that just bricked the run, didn't it? Did it brick the run? I think it bricked it. God dang it. I think this will work. We gotta not get any more ogres before the boss wave comes. I think this will work, but I can't be dying. We lost a wall. That's not good. Oh, you know what? I got my PDS set on strong. I did a Ancient Mines rock farm video earlier. Well, this screwed the whole thing. There's no way I can get it rebuilt. I'll give you guys the satisfaction of seeing my core blow up, though, and not just restart. Oh, I died and basically screwed the whole thing. Can't be dying. Like I said, I do think that this will work. But I mean, I haven't even made it to the boss to figure it out. But now I've got a wall down that I can't rebuild. So there's really probably no chance. I'll go until my core blows up, though. And like I said, the PDS being on strong is a problem. Like, they're not going to hit that mage at all. That mage is just going to sit there and keep casting. And, you know, summoning skellies. Oh, just blow up, for God's sakes. Put the PDS on air. That way it's going to take out these gen. Really quick. I think that will be helpful. But You know? You can't be dying. And I died. So... Can't be dying. There's a link down in the patch notes, or down in the description to the patch notes. There, Murph. Taking forever to clear anything now, too. I got nothing hitting those mages, so they're just going to keep summoning. Alright, finally the PDS switched to the mage. I'm kind of surprised it held this long, to be honest. Nah. Like I said, I mentioned earlier, I'm not using any of the characters that had their stuff moved. I'm just not going to use those characters. I got too many characters to go through. I don't want to spend 2 hours reorganizing my armor and inventory to appease the slot changes on stuff, so I'm not really interested in the Arcanist gloves at the moment. I mean, down the road, once they said they want to get a higher tier in, I'll go for them then. Alright, well, like I said, there's no chance that we survive the boss fight here, but might as well at least try, right? Oh, I got no mana. I can't even repair anything. Shit. I mean, that's it's just over. I can't kill him fast on this summoner. He'll one-tap me if I go down and get in his face. If I was on my squire, I probably could have got away with it. Died again. I don't even know what hit me. Come on, just blow up the core. There we go. Give you guys the satisfaction of my core exploding. Alright, let's try this again. Wondering how I want to do it differently. If I do it differently at all. And like I said, I think that the build was fine. I just died. I can't be dying. What, then we had a Splody Boy back here. Oh, you know what? I got a slot I'm not using here. Let's put our beamer in that one. It'll help the walls out quite a bit. Or, wait a minute. Or, that's the wrong character. Derp. There we go. Gotta make sure I'm building with the right stuff. Alright, now what did I have over this side? I got 20 left. I know I need... Well, we need the walls. Not the ogres will just overrun. And an ensnare will certainly be helpful. in a strength drain. So that's all we got left is for the trap and the beams. Yeah, like I said, I think it's good. I just can't be dying. And I'm not sure. I guess it was probably the siren that killed me. I was a little late to the jump there on that siren splody-splode. Oh, good call. I'm glad you said something there, Indie Detector Dude, because I completely forgot to change them. You pull the character up, and you go to your spell book, and then you go down to the defense, and like I've got it on strong from that Ancient Minds video I put out earlier today. So I'm going to change these to air. And air, it means it's going to prioritize. The only air we have here is Jinn. So it's going to prioritize the Jinn first, and then it will go to special. So things like that mage that was sitting here casting will get hit. Instead of just being able to stand there while they spray into goblins. Right, I think that's everything, right? All right, let's see. Hopefully this goes a little smoother. I mean, giving myself a bubble would be kind of nice too. But I don't have 4 more DU I can come up with. This one's the prop cat. We just blowing everything up over here? Pretty much, huh? Little bombers are getting in their licks. Any issues with the audio? Like, can you guys hear me okay? I feel like the music might be a little loud. I don't know what the deal was. I restarted everything, but when I recorded that video earlier, my microphone was distorting several times through the video. So I'm assuming just maybe restarting fixed it. Plippington. Good old Plippington. Oh, it's all good there, Indie Detector Dude. Couple of explosive traps. They're creeping in a little close over on the back lane there. The orcs were. They should be triggering the explosive traps. Yeah, I'm glad you said something because I completely forgot to switch. The derp is real. I was worried too that there might end up getting some mobs caught up or stuck back here in the back, but it seems like it's... I think the electric car is killing them off. I gotta double check my loot filter too. I just picked up something which is likely garbage. The cat is one of the best damage pets in the game. It's a straight double damage boost for a hero. Like, a lot of people like to use, like, the Mistamine rock pet on their rogue, but you gotta have a really, really good one for it to just equal a bad prop cat. Like, it would have to be like a near max roll one to have the damage equivalent of like a transcendent prop cat. It's absolutely incredible. So, if I can get a really good one that has like stupid stats on it, it'll blow away even a max roll gold Mistamine. But I don't know how high the stats go up on that. Well, I mean, you got to be playing a DPS character to know about what would be a boost for a DPS character. I'm not going to use a prop cat on a summoner. I mean, you could in theory, but it would be like equal damage. Like, I could plug a prop cat in here and it'll make my other bomber do twice as much damage. But why not just have 2 bombers and have more targets? But for like a huntress or a rogue... Cryo Falls with the sub. Thank you so much. They could probably actually do... I mean, AI has come a long, long way. I would bet they could probably do wonders for this game with AI. They could probably actually get a new difficulty put in, like, really fast and everything. But they won't do it. Chromatic wouldn't let them do it, I don't think. There's too much of a negative opinion about AI. But, like, in this situation where it's basically, like, mods, you know, it's basically like a mod team, yet the mods are added into the game on PC. It still ties back to Chromatic. You know, a lot of people don't realize what a community development team is. People who didn't play DD1, basically, or haven't played DD1 in the last 10 years or so, are very unfamiliar with what a CDT is. Alright, now don't get exploded. I mean, where can I even come up with 4DU? I could get rid of that electric car in the back, but then I'd be just relying on the explosive trap for the trash mobs. And I think that would end up being a little sketchy. You can do that now for DD2 and DDA, but the problem is there's so much misinformation. out on the internet that it pulls from improper data. What's up, Tall Kid? How you doing? Thank you so much for the sub. 53 months. 4-year streak. Holy shit, man. Thank you an absolute ton. Knee Kappa. It's funny seeing the ogre names again, because, you know, those were all picked by Kickstarter backers. But a lot of them I forgot about. Sucks that I'm not having issues until wave 100. Because the build itself is crazy slow. So it's not clearing the waves very quick. Come on, you can do it. There we go. Yeah. Well, you remember those old builds when Insane Mode was the top. That was good times. I mean, obviously wasn't a whole lot in the game then, but like spawn camp in those side lanes with traps. I put in a ton of grind time back then. I was kind of surprised by the number of hours I have. It's not near as many as DD2. But right now, as of right this second, I got 3,968.8 hours played. It doesn't seem like that I played it that much, you know? Now, probably 1,000 of that is while I was sleeping and survival was running. Well, it was a lot easier back then, too. There was a lot more people that watched the Dungeon Defenders content, where now I can't play as much as I used to because I have to, like, go drive for Uber and stuff like that to make up the difference. I would love to be able to sit here and grind Dungeon Defenders games 12 hours a day again. That was awesome. But sadly, I think that ship may have sailed. Hell, I'd probably even really get back into DD1 if I could do that. Grind like DDA in the morning, DD1 in the afternoon, and then DD2 at night or something. That would be awesome. All right. Wave 100, we meet again. So, don't die this time. Before I even get to that, though, I know I've only been live in not even an hour yet, but I'm just dying of thirst and I gotta pee. So let me go get a glass of water real quick and take a leak. And I will be right back in just a sec here, y'all. All right. Sorry about that, y'all. Nothing worse than having to pee while you're butt puckering at the same time. Because there's going to be a little butt pucker on this one, I'm pretty sure. Seeing how it ran last time. Definitely not an optimal setup. But here we go. Can we make it without dying? Is the golden question. I mean, I'm standing right out here in the open with no protection at all. So, I kind of deserve it if I do die. Oop. Do not go into Overlord mode. You go into Overlord mode during the boss, he de-aggroes and instantly one-shots all your towers. So I definitely don't want to be doing that. I don't remember how much health he has at wave 100. But it's probably going to take a good while to get through him because the bombers are going to get so distracted by all the ground mobs. Alright, let's try this again. What is getting me? I don't understand what is killing me. That's another wipe. Yeah, I'm not really sure what's getting me there. Something is shooting at me. Or a siren is getting me, and with all the shit going on, I'm just not seeing it. 55 billion health. It's got to be the sirens, and there's so many explosions and stuff going on. I'm probably not seeing the little siren stuff. Which, I mean, what the only answer to that is turn the graphics down, right? Thanks for following there, Tornado. Bloom. I got Bloom on Epic, really? What am I, just trying to torture myself? Alright. Let's try it again. Well, nice, man. Like I said, I think that the build will work, but I can't be dying. And Like I said, I'm just not sure what killed me. I'm assuming it was probably sirens, but I have no real clue. Do I want to try with just explosive back here? I feel like that's risky. If I'm going to do that, then I should switch monks and go to the lovely size matters. If you like that sort of thing, then it's worth it. It's kind of up to you. Let's see, that frees up 4 DU. I'm just not sold on these explosive traps getting the job done without having the... without having the electric artists there to help. Let's try it, though. Do I have the rune in? I do. I got a feeling this might be a little sketchy. But what that would do is it would allow me to put a siren like right there. Is that going to distract my vision by too much? It's not too bad. And then if anything's thrown at me, it will at least reflect. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I got mixed emotions on having that bubble there. If it's the siren, of course, then that will have no effect on it. And then what are we missing? Oh, I didn't put a strength drain in, did I? I didn't put any R's in. And then we need 6 for buff beams, which leaves 8. I mean, shit, I feel like I can put an electric car in up here, but I've already switched heroes. Decisions. That might be a little blinding, but we'll find out. That would give me enough for a heal, too. So that gives me a heal. It doesn't protect me from the sirens, but it does give me protection versus any range mobs. Let's try it out. I just don't know if this explosive trap is going to be enough to hold all the goblins and orcs in the back here, because it's quite a few, you know. Yeah, that siren is very likely to die from the boss to the boss for sure. A strength drain in the back doesn't really do much for me. It would be 10% because it's fused. It would be a 10% rift armor strip, but that's not enough where I feel like it's worth the DU. See, I'm going to be spamming flash heal too, so what I'm going to try to do is draw the Demon Lord fire up the side here to hopefully miss the siren, but we'll see how it goes. If I even make it that far. I mean, this just... The build itself was going smooth. It's just dying. Like, you know, I don't... Like I said, I don't know what I was dying to. I'm just guessing that it was the sirens. So I don't really know what to do to fix it. That I was getting one shot, so that healing aura is not going to keep me alive. All right. Well, let's see how it goes. Nah, I don't plan on farming them until they add an increased difficulty. Owls have always been crazy since the second they launched. So yeah, they weren't nerfed. So they've been busted OP since literally the second that character launched. The balance changes they made this to things seemed a little off to me too. I mean, I get the changes to like the DPS Guardian because, you know, it was just straight up trashed here before. The balance changes to everything else. The overclock rune change, I understand. I do think that the overclock rune change combined with the nerf to the spider debuff, because like before you used both, it was the strategic choice to use both. That was a big hit, but you know, not the end of the world. Oh shit, I had lost yeah, I didn't realize I lost one of my PDS in the back, so I need that electric aura back there to clear out the goblins and orcs. I don't know, maybe just changing the graphics I'll be able to see what killed me. I don't feel like this is the right call having this siren bubble here. I mean, I've stood on top of this thing a million times and never died to this boss, you know? So I'm not really sure what's killing me now. Everything's just dying so fast to the bombers until wave 100. Alright, so we got to make some changes here, because this is not holding. Alright, so we need to get that back. And we need to get that back. I think I'm going to swap back monks and get my electric aura back. So I need to sell these. I don't feel like I need that siren. I really don't. You know what? I'm getting rid of the siren. Screw it. And then we need to go... Shit, this is going to screw up my buff beams too, isn't it? Hopefully it hits on this one. What to do with the 3? Well, I tell you what I could do. Is get a little bit more on those splodies. Did I upgrade this stuff already? Nope. I'd have to look. Did the LT get changed? With the slots? It's not a build thing. It's a me dying thing. You know, I mean, the build's holding fine. It's just me dying. I don't die, I win. I die, I lose. Did I upgrade that one? And that one? Yep. I could see the siren thing a little easier that time. They're all being developed to some form. DD1 has chromatic support and community development team support. DDA has a community development team, and DD2 has official chromatic support. But, I mean, there's big updates coming for all the games, so there's not really a wrong answer. They're all super fun. Most people would probably say the original DD1 is the better of the games. And for very valid reasons. It's a pretty legendary game. I mean, it's kind of the game that defined the entire genre. Action tower defense didn't exist prior to DD1 and Orcs Must Die 1. They were the first two. And then Dungeon Defenders definitely kind of defined the genre. What's chromatic support? Like how to contact them? Or it means they're being developed directly by the developer, is what I meant. Chromatic is the company that makes the games. Oh shit, I lost my PDS again. What the hell is going on in the back now? I mean, we're surviving just from that electric car and explosive trap, but I didn't even realize. And we lost big time there. Oh, I never put a siren in. Derp? Or did the siren die? Did I put a siren in and she died? Oh, Kobolds launched right at him? I wasn't watching. The downside of being a Dungeon Defenders live streamer, you rarely look at what's going on in the game. Alright. Yeah, so we gotta fix that. That's how I ended up having all this extra DU. But that is not acceptable. So... yeah, I didn't have a siren there at all. That was just straight up derp. So I got to come up with 4 more DU now. Because I can't go without a siren. Or reflect beams or something. They gotta be there. You know? Yeah, it was in slow motion because he was in snare aura, so his attack speed was being reduced. That was just straight up derpage. So how do I come up with 4? Why is this stuff not repairing? There we go. Alright, we had a gas trap, which we didn't have originally. 2 explosives. I like having those explosives there. But we'll go back to 1 Splody boy. Make sure it's on the buff beam. Looks like it is. And then that was going to leave me 2. But yeah, we can't leave that stuff just out in the hanging out in the open like that. So I guess with 2, I could go back with the heal again. Well, you got to look at what the rune says there, Ice Creature. That rune is intended for you to change your builds. You see how I'm using 3 different buff beams with only 2 defenses on each one? That's because of the rune. If you slap 6 buff beams, or 6 PDS on the buff beam with the rune, it's going to nerf the shit out of your damage. And read what the rune says, you know? Overclock beam gives towers 250% more damage. This effect is reduced by 63% for each additional defense the overclock beam buffs. So with 6 plasma defense towers there, that's what? 636 and 18? That's 378% damage reduction versus the 250% you're being given. So yeah, I mean, you can build like that, but then you just don't use the rune. I mean, there's nothing wrong with building 1 big stack, but that rune was put in the game like that to get you to change the way you build, you know? All right, well, let's try it again. Hopefully I can see what was killing me. I mean, it's not going to kill me till wave 100 again, I would assume. Whatever it was. Just got to jump out of those siren bombs. I almost feel like on the backside you could get rid of all that stuff back there except like the ensnare aura and just throw in 2 flamethrowers. What are flamethrowers? They're 5, right? Or is it more? I think they're only 5. But then we would need to protect them with reflect beams or something too. So it would end up costing more. They are 5. I mean, flamethrowers would just annihilate that back there. Well, it's not really a single target rune. It adds a dot. They're still AoE, though. Yeah, the EV flamethrower. Oh, I see what you meant. You were thinking fireball yeah, fireball towers. Those are awesome too. Those are like the ultimate fireworks show. All right, so I mean, the build, it goes real smooth there. It's just that whole dying in wave 100 that's getting me. But with the graphics turned down now, I should be able to see what's getting it. And to be honest with you, I think the game looks better. I think that they went a little overboard with some of the lighting features and like volumetric fog and stuff in DDA. I feel like the game looks better with a lot of that turned off, in my opinion anyway. I think they went too heavy on that stuff. I mean, same thing as DD1. Oh shit, am I gonna die? I was taking sips. Luckily the siren died before it got me. I always turn post-processing off in DD1. People mention it to me in my videos. It's like, dude, post-processing looks so bad. With all that bloom going and all the haze and everything and just all of the lighting effects just going nuts. I mean, to me personally, it looks way better without it. But, I mean, we guess we all have our opinions in that regard. But I like the art style without it, without all the flashiness. Yeah, I mean, I don't even feel like I have to flash buff. I feel like I could just go AFK here. It's so, you know, it's doing so good pre-wave 100. It's just wave 100 that's getting shit on, you know? Yeah, I think it looks a lot better right now, too. I turned the volumetric fog off. I'm sitting inside of a snare aura, so I still get a little bit of that green, like that green haze. But I don't feel like it's too bad. Well, I don't want ogres to go that way is the thing. If you build like this, no ogres out of the side lane will never ever go to the back. The only thing that goes back there is goblins and orcs. So you can just melt that stuff off with the lightning aura and the explosive trap. If I put walls back there, then yeah, ogres will go back there. But I don't want that. I want the ogres all coming up here, where the PDS can just go ham on them and my pets can get some licks in. But yeah, like if I put walls here, ogres that came out of these side lanes would come back here. And that's, you know, no walls and no aggro, so they won't even take that path. With the walls up front, the ogres are always going to come this way. And then they get up here and start getting blasted in the face by the PDS and my pets. And I actually, that rune on the blockades does a pretty tremendous amount of damage too. That, what's it called? This thing. Every second the spike blockade is attacking, it shoots out 5 piercing projectiles, doing 250% tower health each. So, like, what's my tower health now? 1.6 million. So 1.6 million times 2.5 times 5. Well, I'm farming for a pet that only drops on wave 100. But no, for gear, wave 25 mixed mode is better for gear. Not huge, tremendously better, but it is better. All right, here we go. One more try. What the fuck? I was nowhere near the siren explosion. I saw nothing come at me, and I just died. What most people do is they just AFK long survival runs so they don't have to rebuild, and then they get caught up on some Netflix or whatever and just let it run. The gear is not going to be as good as mixed mode gear, but it's going to be good enough to get the job done in really all of the game's content. I have no idea what got me there, though. I was nowhere near the siren thing, and I didn't see any projectile come at me. And there was a community development team update, a very small one, that came, like, what, a week and a half ago? Harpoons or owls, in my opinion, were the easiest thing, and then put some PDS all the way across the map, targeting flyers for the copter ogres. And then don't stand up close to the ledge while you're fighting the boss, or he'll slam you. You know, and the weird thing is I've already done this map. I've already got one golden cat I showed you earlier. And I did this exact same thing, except I didn't use a summoner. Maybe a kobold bounced over at me or blew up and the range got me and it was just out of my view. Like a kobold could have hit the ledge down here or something and blew up and killed me. But I have no idea what keeps killing me here. Oh yeah, spiders are beast. Plus they're slow stacks with and snare auras, so gets everything just creeping. They actually are not very good now compared to where they used to be. But admittedly, they were ridiculously broken before. I would submit it through Discord Tornado and not use the website. I'm not sure. I'd have to ask the CDT guys, but I'm not sure if they have access to the website for submitting tickets. No, none of the metas have changed. It's all the same stuff. It's just nothing as good as it used to be. because of the buff beam rune and the spider nerf. But you know, you can use all the exact same builds you used to. It was pretty. You had a pretty diverse set of stuff of what you could do before. The game doesn't really need a ton of balance. What it needs is something else to do, you know? But there were, I mean, it was a pretty diverse amount of things that you could use in the past to clear maps. It still works fine in their area. DSTs are still DSTs. They're even stronger now with the rune. Alright. Let's at least try to figure out what is killing me. Why is it not targeting these? I can't swap. So I can't repair that stuff. Oh, I don't have any mana. Derp. Alright, let's try this again. Less death, please. Less death, please. And like I said, the thing I don't get is I just did this map last night. That time it was a siren. So it looks like I'm not going to farm any golden pets today. Like I said, I already got one though. I can show you what I was looking at. Or I just need to switch off of the trying to do it on the summoner. And here I thought I was going to get a look at like 4 or 5 new golden pets today. And that's a big nope. Got to make some changes. Like I said, I just don't get what's killing me. What is my rogue's health? I killed him on the rogue before. My rogue's got twice as much health. Maybe that's why. Same build, but use the rogue instead for DPS instead of the summoner. Or just look at my summoner and figure out why I'm taking so much damage. I got vitality there. Oh, I didn't have that upgraded. Well, there's some missed out vitality. What does that bring me up to? Didn't barely touched it. Did it move my health at all? I got vitality there. I got vitality there. Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to go back and look at the live stream VOD. I still don't know why. Well, it's because I don't have any mana. Derp. I know exactly why. But yeah, I did that exact build, but I used a rogue for DPS. And I just said same thing. I stood up here and shot at him. You can completely ignore the boss's mechanics by just standing up on a top of any surface and jumping over his fireballs. But yeah, not real sure. Back to the drawing board on this one. But anyway, y'all, like I said, a little bit of a shorty stream today, as I want to go watch the UFC fights tonight. So I'm just going to be chilling here and watching those for the rest of the evening. So I will be available on Discord and everything. And like I said, I'll ask the CDT guys if they have access to the help desk stuff. So, and then next stream tomorrow, just ask me again about submitting a ticket, and I'll have an answer for you hopefully then, if they reply to me. I'm assuming they will. But anyway, y'all, big old face palms here today. Smooth running build, but just couldn't live through Wave 100 on any of the tries. So something going on there with the Wave 100 stuff. So I'll have to go back to the drawing board on this one and put together a little better build. But yeah, anyway, thanks a ton, y'all. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Take it easy, y'all.